Hi, my name is Geeta Sidhu-Robb and today we're going to talk about antibiotics. Antibiotics is sort of one of those things that's just normal, like cars and scooters and I don't know, water. And actually what happened is that for me, antibiotics have never been a normal thing. I haven't had antibiotics in about 15 years. And I find that really quite shocking when I think about it, but I've just avoided them constantly and not had a reason to have them because I maintained my health. But I went swimming with a fantastic bunch of very, very over-friendly jellyfish. Super over-friendly jellyfish. And the little buggers, literally, I got so badly stung. And this was last week. And then by the time I got home, I was like, oh my God, okay, it's going away. I went to the gym and I obviously got a bit overexcited because my jellyfish thing got infected. I was like, hooray, this is really, really what I need. It got infected and it looks a bit like Darth Vader arrived on my hand. It's really quite terrible. So I'm not going to show you, but it's not good. And I had to go into the emergency care and get antibiotics, and he gave me extra strength, the doctor gave me extra strength antibiotics to be taken for a 7-day period. And it occurred to me that I actually had no idea what it was like to have antibiotics, and I've been really struggling. This is my 3rd or 4th day on them, and I've been really struggling to find a way to actually make my system and my life work around the fact that I'm on these immensely strong antibiotics. And so I thought maybe somebody else is struggling with that. Let me make a video to talk to you about this because it's just, horrible. Okay, so the first thing is that antibiotics come in 2 types. You have broad spectrum antibiotics, which kill all the bacteria in your stomach, and narrow spectrum antibiotics, which are there to kill one strain of bacteria. Now, the thing with that is that antibiotics, when they're broad spectrum antibiotics, which are kind of the more common ones, don't actually differentiate in what bacteria they're killing because they just kill the bacteria. It's not like they're going to go, there's a good one, there's a bad one. They're just killing all the bacteria. This is where the problem starts, because ultimately it's like walking into a bedroom or a dining room and saying, I'm just going to clean your dining room. And in fact, what you then do is pick up all the furniture in the dining room and take it out as well. You can't use that room the way it was intended anymore. And that's what antibiotics do to your stomach. They literally take away all the bacteria, so your stomach can't function in the way that it's supposed to function, because it needs bacteria to do that. It needs bacteria to break down all the food in your system, to digest it, to do all of those things. It needs it. So what do we do about the fact that antibiotics are going to destroy all your stomach bacteria? Now, this is really actually a very important thing, because studies have shown that 1 7-day period of antibiotic use can actually lead up to a year of your gut flora not being normal again. A whole year with 1 7-day course of antibiotics. Just imagine that we already have enough problems going on in the way that we live, and it's hard enough to get healthy food and to lead a non-stressed life, but now your gut flora has just gotten all screwed up and it's not going to get any better. The way to get there are a few things to follow to actually improve the health of your stomach. Firstly, eat food or coat the lining of your stomach in some way before you have your antibiotics. Use yogurt, use bananas. I've got a stray hair that's getting in my face. Can you see that? It's really annoying me. Use something like that to coat your stomach, because then when the antibiotic is being eaten, it's not literally ripping apart your gut lining. Secondly, bacteria flourish under fermentation. Fermentation, the state of being, your stomach being in a state of fermentation. So you want to have more fermented products in your diet during the course of your antibiotics. By fermented products, I mean have bioavailable live yogurt, kombucha, kefir, sauerkraut, and have a lot of those in order to actually help your gut bacteria, such as is left, to actually get stronger and better. Gut bacteria are actually fed by something called prebiotics, which are composed of inulin. So you can just take inulin in order to feed what the gut bacteria are that are left, or you can actually eat things like artichokes, which really, really help them. The other thing is that when you've coated your stomach and stopped the gut lining being hurt, but you've still got the bacteria being affected, you can have probiotics. Now, probiotics are there and what they do is they help the bacteria to flourish because they put bacteria back into your stomach, which means don't eat probiotics within a 2-hour window of having your antibiotics, because the antibiotic is going to kill the bacteria that's in the probiotic. So leave 2 hours. Secondly, there are 2 strains of probiotics which work the best, apparently, based on scientific studies for antibiotics: lactobacillus and staph, because I can't pronounce the whole thing as staph, but if you put an S-T-A-P-H, you'll see the rest. Staphylococcus, I think it is. Both of those are really, really good for helping your stomach to recover from antibiotics. But all probiotics, a broad strain, best probiotic that you can afford is the best thing to have. Also, don't you have probiotics in the morning? Have it spread out during the day, because then you're repopulating your gut bacteria after you've had your antibiotics. So it's a better way to have it. Ultimately, remember that what you're doing is a process. So as you're taking it, killing the bacteria with the antibiotic, put it back in with the probiotic. The last thing to talk about is that people are not meant to drink alcohol on antibiotics. And I've never really understood why, not taking antibiotics, but there are 2 reasons why you don't drink alcohol while you're on antibiotics. The first reason is that the liver breaks down both your antibiotics and your alcohol. So when you put them both in, there's a fight for whichever is dominant, and it reduces the efficacy of the liver breaking down either the alcohol or the antibiotics. So it's really unhelpful. The second thing is that alcohol will magnify the effect of the antibiotic you're having. So there's some strains of antibiotics, and you can find this quite easily on Google, some strains of antibiotics that are actually quite have a negative effect to alcohol. So they amplify the negative feelings, like you have much more nausea, much more cramping, much more constipation or diarrhea, depending on how the antibiotics affect you. So be super careful about having alcohol. In fact, some studies have shown that if you wait for 24 hours after you've given up your antibiotics and finish your course, then at that stage is when you should be able to drink alcohol again. As a last side note, there is a lot of conversation about how long you should take a course of antibiotics. It is in fact the only medicine that you continue to take even when you feel well. Because usually you take a medicine until you feel well. And nobody's going to say take a painkiller for 3 days after you finished your headache, because just in case. It just isn't what we do. But we do that with antibiotics. We're told to finish the course. There is a professor, I think his name is Professor Martin from Bristol University, who found that there was no reason for us to be doing that, and that it was more something that came up as a result of just us custom being used to finish your course. And that actually, his opinion is that if you finish your course of antibiotics to the extent until you feel well again, you should not need to continue it. But I'm not a doctor. There's opposing views, make your own mind up. But I thought it was really interesting to actually bring that up, because I question how long I can stay on these antibiotics, and I'm really not having a great time. So I'm kind of like, if someone tells me I can finish before, I might like that. So I hope it's useful. Any questions, let me know down below. Please feel free to share the video and to subscribe.